So what's good, everybody? So listen, I know Black History Month is over, but I said I was gonna finish my series, so I'm gonna finish it. So this video right here is gonna be day 26, and I know today is March 2nd, 2022. But I'm gonna finish my series so I can put my videos on YouTube. I have put a lot of them on there. So, if you want to subscribe to the channel, it's called Pro Truth and Provoking Thought with Sasha Monet. So this video right here is going to be day 26, and it's titled In the Land of Their Captivity. So I'm just going to wait a minute to see if anybody going to join on. Feel free to go back and watch the replay. So I'm sitting outside today in the car because it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Just, clearing my head, just in the presence of God, because I'm got a lot of stuff going on, and I just need that one-on-one time with him. I got my Bible in the car, so once I get through with my videos, I'm just gonna talk to the Father and read my Bible, because I'm actually dealing with a lot. But I did want to go ahead and complete this series, so I'm about to go ahead and get out the way, because I'm gonna drop 2 after this when I get through, and that will be the end of the 28-day series, The Real Black History. So this video right here is day 26, and it's titled In the Land of Their Captivity. So those of you who have watched me before, you know that I do study the Apocrypha, right? Which are the omitted books from the Bible, okay? So this message right here is titled In the Land of Their Captivity. So I'm going to be coming from Baruch chapter 2, verses 28 through 35. Baruch chapter 2, verses 28 through 35. So I'm just going to wait one more minute, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful day today. Beautiful day. So if you have not gotten outside today, or have not gotten out the house, it's a beautiful, beautiful day to go for a walk, or just sit outside and enjoy the fresh air and the sunshine. I'm not an outdoor person, but on beautiful days like this, when it's not too hot or too cold, I do like to get out of the house, because sometimes when I'm in my room, I can feel, anxious and worried about things like that, things that are not within my control. So, I just pray and say, Father, give me a peace that surpasses all understanding. And that's what we have to do, because it's not good to stress and worry about things. So today I'm just going to sit in the car, got my Bible, and just talk to God, and I encourage you to do the same thing, especially, well, all the time, but especially if you're dealing with things, because we all deal with things, and I don't care what it look like on Facebook. That's why I try to come on here and be so transparent, because, Facebook it gives an illusion that people, living their best life and they happy and all of this and that. But the truth be told, everybody dealing with something, even me. Everybody dealing with something. Everybody go through things. Even if you having a good day or a good week, or you haven't been through anything recently, if you haven't been through something, you will. We all go through things. That's just a part of life. But it's up to us, how we deal with those things. And so I'm just learning to have a hallelujah anyway praise, you know what I'm saying? Because we all go through things. So worrying about it, stressing about it's not going to add, it's not going to solve anything. So that's not what today's message is about, but I just want to finish this series. So this message is titled In the Land of Their Captivity. So I'm coming from the Apocrypha, starting at Baruch, the book of Baruch, chapter 2, verses 28 through 35. As thou speakest by thy servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write the law, before the children of Israel, saying, if ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them. So that's very significant because we know that, we as black people are the minority, okay? And we have been for some time. And, the Father prophesied in the book of Baruch that also in the book of Deuteronomy, in Deuteronomy chapter 28, in the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. But he said that, if we would not hearken to his voice, surely this great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them. And we know that we're the only people who the Father scattered across the nations, right? So that's coming in from verse 29. And then in verse 30, it goes on to say, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, notice captivities plural, okay, captivities, they shall remember themselves, okay. So remember, in the series I've been talking about, there's an awakening among, like the some of the Hebrew Israelite people. A lot of them are waking up, to the truth. And like I said, they're not wrong about, who we are, but I just don't agree with some of their, some of their ideologies and theories and, way of life and things like that. But they are right. So in verse 31, it says, and shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. So that we the only people who are still in the land of our captivity. In the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, it says that we will be scattered among the nations and that we will no longer remember our God. But there is an awakening because, in the end days, like in the latest days now, God is pouring out his spirit on all flesh. And so, we're starting to wake up, some of us, because a lot of people are still asleep, but some of us are waking up to the truth. But, you'll have to go back and watch some of the previous videos to know what I'm talking about. And so then in verse 33, it says, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they shall be my people. Now I'm in verse 35 in the book of Baruch, and notice how it's talking about an everlasting covenant. Remember, I told you that the children of Israel initially had a covenant with God to be his people, to be his set apart, holy people, a royal priesthood, a set apart people, but they did not keep their end of the bargain with the covenant. So, they were scattered. They were scattered among the nations. So, as a result of their idolatry and their disobedience. And then it goes on to say, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. But notice in verse 35 where it says, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them. So if you've been watching the series, I've been talking about that, our ancestors, the children of Israel, right, the real Hebrews, they had a covenant with God to be his set apart holy people, right? To be an example for the other nations. But they chose to, worship false gods and follow in the ways of the other nations. And so God allowed them to go into captivity after captivity, and he scattered. He dispersed the children of Israel, right? He dispersed, the children of Israel. He dispersed them among the nations. But Judah went into captivity, right? So that's us. We're those descendants who don't know who we are or where we come from, and they like to all say that all black people come from Africa, but that's just not true. But you have to go back and watch the other videos. So It says, I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God. Notice the emphasis on their God. So I do teach that, God was the God of the Hebrews initially, but because of their disobedience, that's how salvation was extended to the other nations. But there is a scripture that's in the Bible that said that Jesus did not come but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel first, right, initially. But because of their disobedience, and they did not keep the covenant, they did not obey, God and his commandments as a set apart people. That's why God allowed them to go into captivity after captivity. But that's when salvation was extended to the other nations, right? So I've already covered that in previous videos. And then he said, and they shall be my people. So you see the emphasis on they shall be my people. It's emphasis on that. And I will no more drive my people, Israel, right, out of the land that I have given to them. So he said, my people, Israel. God has a people. And it's not those people that's over there in Israel pretending to be us. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's probably because you haven't watched any of the other videos. So I just wanted to say that we are the only people, still praising the Father in the land of our captivity. If you notice, all other nations of people know where they came from. They know something about themselves, something about their history. They know what tribe they came from, or they know their real given names, like their real last names, and they know they just know things about their ancestors and things. And I'm not saying that we don't, but we only know to a certain extent. Like in one of my videos, I was talking about how I had the privilege to know my great grandmother, and I remember her. I think in high school when she died. So I'm not saying that, but I mean like people who live in Africa, like some of them, they know what tribes they come from. They know like their real names, But us, when we were in slavery, when our ancestors were in slavery, our identity was stripped from us. So when we came over here and when we got dispersed, we didn't know where we came from. Like I don't know how my family got here. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how my friends and neighbors got here. Of course, our ancestors through the Atlantic slave trade, but how did we get here? So once you begin to study and start connecting the dots, then you begin to things begin to make sense, and the Lord will reveal things to you. And but that's why he said, know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And now that I've come into the knowledge of the truth, I've been more free. And then you just have to study. The Bible says study to show yourself approved. And then once you start studying and connecting the dots, then things will start making sense. So that concludes day 26. And I'm going to do 27 when I get off. But I do have a channel on YouTube. It's called Pro Truth and Provoking Thought. And most of these videos from the 28-day series, The Real Black History, are on there. It's called Pro Truth and Provoking Thought with Sasha Monet. But all of the other videos I've done in this series are on my page. So they are saved. But, video 1 and 2 are foundational videos. And that'll give you a better understanding on where I was going in this series. Because if you just came in today and you haven't watched any of the other videos, then you won't know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to end this right here, and I'm going to do 27 when I get off.